Warning, may cause extreme student engagement.
Welcome to the Digital Dish.
Your go-to podcast for all things tech and education.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back to the Digital Dish, your go-to edtech podcast on the go edtech support. Take us everywhere with you. In your pocket.
You never know.
You never know.
Pop up for some help.
Yeah. Add us to the queue.
Absolutely.
On Spotify. I love the queue on Spotify.
Me too. Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
I'm Allie, the crazy crafter and your EdTech coach.
And I'm Katie, the weekend warrior and the director of EdTech at West Hill.
So what'd you do over the weekend, Katie?
I did so many things.
I see that.
I've been into sourdough baking.
Yes.
I made so many things over the weekend. I baked, and I was telling Allie before we started recording this that it takes a long time to plan out. Like, you have to backwards plan your whole weekend, basically, if you're going to bake. Right. And because the dough takes anywhere between 8 to 18 hours to rise, depending on which loaf you make or which type of thing you're making. So I made 2 pumpkin cranberry loaves.
That sounds amazing.
It was so good. 2 just regular sourdough loaves. A whole wheat sourdough loaf, and bagels. I make bagels almost every weekend. They are the best bagels I've ever had in my life.
The pictures you posted looked amazing.
Oh my God. Everything was delicious. And I love having fresh sourdough every morning with my eggs. I'm like such a country girl all of a sudden. Like a homesteader. I don't know. I bought like local raw honey to put on my sourdough.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know
what's
going on.
I love it. Goes with your living off the grid.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. I also groomed Charlie. That took me 3 hours.
I bet.
Because he's a standard doodle. So it's the brushing, the bathing, the blow drying, the brushing, the trimming, the ear plucking and cleaning, the potty area buzzing. Yeah. So I do that. Like, I groom every 3 weeks.
Wow.
It's exhausting. And then, of course, I attended the Cuse Duke game, the college football game, and that was highly disappointing.
I heard.
Yeah. Oh, it broke my heart. And, it was a pretty crazy weekend for fantasy football. I do that as well. I'm an owner. And the bowling league started up again. And I bought a weighted vest, and now I feel like I'm part of the SWAT team.
Does it say SWAT on your weighted vest?
No,
or is it
but
just
it's
weighted
like
vest?
these huge Velcro things that go. So when I strap it on in the morning and when I'm walking the dogs, I feel like I'm going out to like SWAT.
All right.
That's pretty cool. And last but not least, I've been listening and obsessively listening to a podcast called Blink.
Oh.
This is insane. This guy named Jake, who was a big drug user, was eventually in his early or mid to late 20s diagnosed with this extreme disease that you get from toxins, and it's eating his white brain matter.
Oh.
So they tell him he's got about 6 months to live. At the end of this, 6 months, he will go into a coma and then die. So he goes through all of the things, the steps that he loses his speech, he loses his faculties, he goes into a coma, but not really. He's locked in. And so he knows, he's aware of everything that's going on around him for like a year.
Wow.
And it's so crazy. And it's not necessarily crazy because he's locked in, but like what the things he finds out that his wife is doing or does, it's insane. It's like who turned me on to this was Sarah Starowitz.
Okay.
Because I had talked to her last week. She's teaching a true crime class again, crime podcasting class. So we were talking about it, and I was like, oh, what are you listening to these days? She's like, I'm listening to this Blank. You've got to listen to it. And yeah, you do.
All right.
She was totally right. It's such good storytelling. There's so much drama. It is insane. And so eventually this is not a spoiler. he learns to blink, and then he starts to regain, he goes through all these therapies for years and regains, his speech and, being able to communicate and stuff. But, oh, man. So he's telling the story in the podcast. It's
Wow.
incredible. He survived this,
That's insane.
Yeah. You gotta listen
All right,
to
I'll
it.
add it to my list. Blink.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
There you go.
So what are you crafting these days, you crafty crafter?
So I am doing a craft show this weekend. And so I wanted to make sure I at least knew where all of my stuff was to sell. And then I got this wild idea to do a color changing glass cup.
Oh.
So I put color changing vinyl. So when you put cold water in, it turns colors and things like that. It's really cool. But I did it in a pattern so that way it's kind of like Christmas lights around a Christmas tree. I have the video I can show you, but
Yeah,
it
I
was
see
so
that.
cool. Just putting it together and testing it. And I was like, okay, what's going on?
Oh, that's
I was watching it and I was like, I'm getting really stressed out. I got to walk away.
That's awesome. What other things are you selling?
I do a lot of ornaments, pet bandanas, mugs. I have a ton of mugs. Little signs, things like that. So really whatever.
Can I commission some mugs
Absolutely. What do you
for
want?
my tech team?
Absolutely.
I want funny tech phrases on mugs
Oh, I am there. Yes.
for Christmas.
Yes.
They don't listen to this anyway. They'll be surprised. Maybe Nicole might, but
She'll love it. It's good. She'll love it.
yeah, she will. So, what are we talking about today?
So our appetizer for today, our educator tech tip, I wanted to kind of talk about smart chips with Google Docs.
Yeah, are you going to screen record this?
I am. Thank you for
Okay.
reminding me because
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
totally
So
locked
we're
in.
trying this new thing where we're going to screen record things as we're talking about them so that you can go to the YouTube video and watch it in real happening while we're talking about it so that you can get a visual. If you're listening to us on Spotify, unfortunately it doesn't have that option, but you could go and check it out on YouTube.
Absolutely, 100%. So chips have been around for a while now, right?
Yeah.
From what I understand?
Yeah. I when they first came out, I made this tutorial Google Slides resource called "At is where it's at." And I thought I was so clever.
It's awesome.
Because what is a smart chip and how do you get them?
So a smart chip is a great way to help organize your documents. If you guys are longer time listeners, I am not the most organized kind of person.
No.
Katie's like, what?
Never would have known it.
Sure. But it helps be more organized, especially when it comes to writing down meeting notes and things like that. So you tag it just like you do on Instagram or Facebook, anything along those lines. So it's the shift and then 2. So it creates the @ sign. And then you can tag people, you can tag other documents, you can have AI help you draft it. You can even do, if you link it through your calendar, you can actually have it do a meeting note template type of a situation, so it makes it so much easier. So the templates, you can click.
What are we talking about? What kind of documents?
That was about to.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Stepping on toes over here.
Just getting ahead of me, that's all.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all. All right, so in Docs, there's a lot of different kinds of templates. So if you have a meeting that you need to take notes with, if you have there's a business proposal if you want to, or if you have students who are pitching a business, that kind of situation. There's class notes, also discussion logs, lots of really cool different ways to help with the templates and just take a little bit off your brain. There's so much on your brain right now. So there's some.
So
really
these are
cool
Google
templates.
Doc templates.
These are Google Doc templates, yes.
Okay.
And AI is even, Gemini is into it, so that way it'll help us create one if we don't find one that we like, which
Only
I'm
if
loving.
you have the license.
True, fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But there's also more, excuse me, that we can create an email draft, which helps, especially if you need to draft it, type it out and maybe walk away and then
Or
come back to it.
have somebody look
just in
at
case.
it and collaborate on it too. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a task tracker that helped me a lot. Project manager, contact lists, there's coding if you want to be able to code some different items. Haven't really messed around with that too much. But there's lots of really great things to do with your chips. And it's not like chips that you can eat. I had to specify the difference with some kids that I was talking to.
Oh, wait. So I'm confused. Sorry. You're talking about chips, not templates.
Yep. But through chips, you can do templates.
Oh, building blocks, they're called.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't see your screen, so I was picturing the Google Doc templates. Sorry.
That's
so
okay.
if in a Google Doc you just type the @ symbol, you'll see the menu pop up.
Yes, absolutely. And there's a stopwatch in there, tasks, lots of really cool stuff, as you can see on my screen. Katie can't, but you guys can.
One thing that I use a lot is a building block. And I use this either for meeting notes or like if I'm doing a project with my team and I'm assigning tasks to different members and I'll put resources in. I'm using chips and I'm using like a product roadmap or review tracker or whatever and kind of modify it for my own uses. So that's really cool. There's a poll. Did you see that?
I did see that. Excuse me. There's a vote. There's a poll. You can even design your own chip. I think you have to do it through building blocks, but you can design it so that way it's certain members of your students. So you don't have to like type your students every single time. You can just click and
yeah,
it makes it a lot easier.
I made a building block for my network team meetings. And when I meet with the guys to talk about like the network side of things, we talk about cybersecurity, we talk about hardware, we talk about Microsoft, we talk about like 5 main topics. So the building block I created contains like a table with those 5 topics and like, you know, notes, to do, owner of the to do, and like due date. So yeah, they're super useful.
Mm-hmm. Wholeheartedly.
I use the meeting notes a lot too. And the date. I know Tracy is a science teacher at the middle school. She said she's used them before to create a rubric. And so like she uses the drop down and puts them in a rubric. So she just chooses the drop down and like.
I like it.
Yeah.
Especially with standards and things like that. That's a ton of standards in the science.
And then makes that like makes a copy in Google Classroom for every kid so that when they do their assignment, she can just like click the drop downs and choose the rubric criteria.
That's perfect.
Yeah, pretty cool. Great tip.
Thanks.
Yeah. So what's our main dish for today?
Our main dish today is NotebookLM.
I love NotebookLM.
Me too.
I'm a little bit obsessed.
That's okay. That's a good thing to be obsessed about.
I'm like a 14-year-old girl obsessed with Niall Horan from One Direction 10 years ago. Yeah.
I love that. I love that you even use that reference because I have had a little earworm. So a song that I can't get out of my head, and it's a Jonas Brothers song.
Oh my God.
And it's just like the same like chorus going through my head and going.
I love the Jonas Brothers. I think they're fantastic.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't want that song in my head anymore.
I know. Speaking of songs that get stuck in your head, every day Vince says that Mana is stuck in his Mana. What? Where does that even come from? Now you're going to be singing it for the rest of the day. You're welcome.
It was better than the 3000 chorus.
Yeah, maybe not.
I'll let you know at the end of the day.
Okay.
We can comment on it.
Yeah. Do you want to start the notebook sharing, like why you love it, or what do you want to share about it today? Or do you want to start that?
Sure, I can if you want. With NotebookLM, there's lots of different parts that I do thoroughly enjoy. One of the best ones, honestly, is that it only feeds for those who have not used it before. It is an AI, however, it only feeds it only gets the information from the articles and the things that you upload into it. So it makes it a lot of a safer choice when it comes to AI, especially when we are doing things with a lot of our standards or something for school or something like those kind of things. So I made a notebook and I uploaded a couple of different unplugged coding things that I used to do. And it gave me like everything I wanted, but I was playing with flashcards.
Oh,
It was
nice.
so cool. So,
Are you recording your screen?
no, not yet.
Oh.
I'll record it now though.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a new thing. We're trying.
I am a hot mess today. All right. Emphasis on the mess. Okay. So I uploaded a couple of different PDFs into NotebookLM, and I was playing with the flashcards, and it actually made vocab flashcards from them, even though it doesn't specifically say, hey, RAM stands for this, and this is what it does, and things like that. But it made 52 flashcards.
Whoa.
Yep. Of just coding terms
Wow.
like that, and breaks it down for kids specifically.
That's crazy.
It's really cool.
So when you are in NotebookLM and you want to create flashcards for your notebook, I just clicked on it on my side. Looks like you can do number of cards, fewer, standard, more. I don't know what that means. Level of difficulty, and then what should the topic be? So you can narrow it down.
You can, absolutely. I just pressed generate.
Yeah.
I didn't even bother playing
Yeah.
with it. I was like, I want to see what happens. Click.
That's cool.
Which is kind of like my MO. So
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised, and that it wasn't super hard, especially for these particular activities, because they're more for kindergarten, first and second grade. Excuse me. So that's one of I'm going to be using it quite a bit, actually. And of course, the podcast. I'm a big fan of the podcast.
The audio overview.
Yep.
What they call
Yeah, they
it
renamed
now.
it. Yeah. And I was listening to an AI podcast from another application, and it sounded so metallic and very AI generated versus like this one that sounds like two people.
Sounds like us.
it-
Really.
yes.
They joke around with each other.
Right.
They giggle. It's so weird and crazy.
But it's great. Like
Yeah.
it
Very
was
natural.
Yes, 100%. And so I definitely prefer this one over the one I was listening
Yeah.
to yesterday.
Nice.
What do you like about it?
So
Let
I'm
me
gonna
stop my screen.
I'm gonna screencast this. I'm gonna use the screencast app on the Chromebook,
Woohoo.
but I'm gonna turn off the camera. Okay.
That was the
It was. Darn it all. What? I don't know what
Anyway,
just
go ahead.
happened. Okay, so I am showing you a notebook that I created. And what I love, like Allie said, what I love about Notebook is that you are feeding it all the information. So typically, like with Gemini or ChatGPT, it's pulling information from whatever that company fed to the large language model chatbot. And that could be anything on the internet.
including false
Including
information.
bias and false information. And so this works exactly the same way, only the fact that it's on your sources and not on the entire internet. So if your sources are biased, then it's going to be biased. But
I mean, you probably still have to check it, but
yeah,
it shouldn't.
you
It
just
should be a lot
definitely
better.
right. So what I did was I created an ed tech help bot, and I put in all of the resources that I've created and curated over the last couple of years into this notebook. So I've got 100 ways to use Gemini in Notebook in education. At is where it's at is in there.
All right.
The PD I gave in 2024 on AI, accessibility and language tools, how to associate your badge to the copier, that's in there, how to check your voicemail, docking station cheat. I have so many things in here, okay? So, and I've also been putting in like blog posts on Google Vids and some other things.
It's a lot of the updates that have been happening.
Like updates, recent updates. Yeah, I'm going to try to keep it up to date. But and then I'm also loading a lot of my screencasts into YouTube because you can add YouTube videos. So you'll see like Google Vids #1 intro. Okay, so you see all my resources here. PDFs, Google Slides, Google Docs, and websites. And then in the center, there's 37 sources so far. In the center, you'll see the chatbot, and on the right-hand side are the studio. So I'm gonna ask it. I'm looking for a tool for my students who want to create a podcast.
Ooh, I feel like that might be a future project for middle school.
Maybe. So it's thinking. And again, it's reading all of my sources that I gave it. It's not looking on the internet. And it's still thinking.
Sometimes it does take a minute just because there are a lot of resources in there, but it makes it a lot easier for your brain, which is what really AI should be used for.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to let that load for a minute, and I'm going to go back to another source and review this real quick. So this is the 100 ways to use Gemini NotebookLM in education. And one of my favorite ways to help, and I'm going to do a little presenting this slide, to help teachers is unit planning. So in this screenshot, this is from Google slide deck, you see a notebook that has all this physics stuff in it, like lessons and week 1 material, week 2 material, a unit plan and all of that. So they put everything that they have on their 8-week physics unit, all the materials. And then in the next screenshot, it shows the teacher had put in what concepts introduced in week 7 should be reviewed or reinforced to help students better understand electromagnetic forces in week 8. So it gives like a lesson outline for reinforcing that. So there's just so much you can do as a teacher in preparation for this. But another really cool example is building knowledge checks. And so in our district, grades 7 through 12, you can share a notebook with students grades 7 through 12. So you could upload all of your unit material into a notebook and then share that notebook with students, and they would be able to use the chat and do some knowledge checks. They could ask it questions. They could run a quiz. They could listen to the audio overview. They could look at the mind map. So it's a really another great use case. Let me go back to mine. Here we go. All right. So it says, this is a fantastic project idea. Oh, the other thing I did in my chat notebook settings, I wanted to do a conversational style custom. And I told it to provide empathy for any frustration that is displayed by a teacher, and that we're supporting teachers and lean towards like project-based learning when you're offering suggestions. So that's
perfect.
Yeah, you can customize how your chatbot interacts with the user. So it gives really good examples: Chromebook Recorder, Google Vids, Adobe Cast, and this is all coming from resources that I created. And then you'll see like a number 1 and a number 2 next to the text, and that's tagging the source that it's coming from in the chat. So it will tell you which source the answer that they got is coming from, which is amazing.
I do like that option, and that a lot of AIs are starting to put that in there. Mm-hmm. It makes it a lot easier to double check the information.
It's a really good option in Gemini Deep Research, if you have ever used that. And then the mind map, I already created that, but I'm going to show you real quick. So the mind map, if you're looking at my screen and watching the video, great. If not, I'm going to try to describe it. So it starts out with like the notebook name, and then it branches out and it categorizes into main categories all of your stuff from the notebook. So it shows the categories for my notebook are AI tools and use cases, AI and EdTech programs, Google Workspace, Chromebooking and accessibility, student information system, and operations and security. And then you can click into that topic and it'll break it down even more, and then it'll break it down even more into the sources that are under that subtopic. It's insane.
What I like about it is that not only is it just like a straight up mind map, but it categorizes it and it's in different colors. So that way you can like at an easy glance to be like, oh, that's a subcategory of this one. Get it now.
Yes. It's so cool. So we don't have a whole lot of time to share everything, but what we're going to do is post the link to the 100 ways to use Gemini NotebookLM in education. We're going to post that on the website. so that you also have access to that. Because it's a free resource that Google created, and we love to share it with you.
100%. There is talk of putting NotebookLM into Google Classroom.
Yeah, they announced it. It's just not there yet.
It's not quite there yet. We're not entirely sure. I know I'm attending a webinar on Monday about it.
Okay.
So
yeah, when I attended the Amplified North American collab, where they give you like monthly updates and all the things Google, and they said you'll be able to assign a notebook in Google Classroom. So your notebooks and your Gemini gems are living in Google Drive now. So you'll be able to assign those in Classroom.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Absolutely.
What else we got going on?
I mean, that's pretty much it as of right now. What about you?
I feel like I'm living and breathing on the instructional side of things is just AI all the time right now. I have so much going on, but instructionally speaking, I feel like that's been like a focus, and not on purpose necessarily. It's just so the resources we have are just so good.
And there's been a lot of hot topics about AI in education. I know it's not new, but I feel like there was definitely a resurgence when school kind of came back and stuff like that.
Momentum again.
Which is great, but we just need to make sure that we are modeling good behavior so that way our students are picking up on that as well.
Yeah.
I think this is a great way to really kind of infuse AI into our students' future.
Yeah, and even like this afternoon, we're starting the AI Allies program, where we're giving teachers who join the program a Gemini for Workspace license, but also lesson plans and resources so that they can help teach their students appropriate use.
Right.
So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys need anything, feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah. You know where to find us. bit.ly/digital dish pod.
Yes.
That's where we're at.
And go ahead and email us, PM us, smoke signal us, just get a message out.
Anything.
Yep.
Pigeon.
Pigeon carrier, absolutely.
You might not get it back. I might be keeping it.
Next time I'm going to find a pigeon in Katie's office. That'll be so fun.
Yeah. I love animals. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.